Naperville is both a big and a small town, and the way you're connected is by seeing your neighbors and finding out what they're doing. And NCTV at such a local level is there to cover it.
Naperville Community Television came from humble beginnings back in 1987.
Naperville Community Television, Channel 17.
Hey, I'm Gunther Wilson. We're here at Naperville Community Television, NCTV 17, and today you're going to find out what happens in this TV station, so come on in. Hey, so we're here in the office. It's the weekend right now, so there's not that many people around. This is the sports room, as you can see. This is where we cover local sports, like high school sports. Here is the newsroom, and we do have our weekend reporter, Christine Lena, working on a story. So she's hard at work over there. Over here, we have the control room. And as you can see, in the control room, we have a switcher for switching between cameras. We have an audio board, so this controls the microphone levels in the studio, and that's for when we have studio shoots, like our shows like Spotlight, Business Connection, things like that.
For 30 years now, NCTV has been pre-recording and going live on Channel 17 and 99 for their weekly show on Fridays.
Oh yeah, working in a news station opens up a lot of networking. Part of news today, social media, so there's lots of networking with that, with Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. You meet a lot of people, and you have to work with people to spread your posts on there. Through TV, we also have to network because inherently we have to collaborate with people. You know, if you're doing a news story, you need to talk to someone. You need to have like a contact. Like, let's say you're doing a story on a local business, you have to talk to the business owner first, and then you can take the story from there. So inherently with the work, networking is a step of the whole process. So it's very integral. All right, and here we are in the studio. We actually have another green screen. This is not the normal green screen, but as you can see here, we've got our studio cameras hooked on wheeled tripods. So if we're shooting an interview show or some kind of promotion for a local business, we'll bring them in here, set up a set with chairs, and film them just like this.
The green screen was developed in the 1930s, and now meteorologists especially use the screen to create a map so they can report the news. The green screen procedure, wherein two images can be mixed, the image in front is removed in order to reveal the image behind it. Image sensors in the digital cameras are sensitive to the green color. That is why it is used for the background.
My degree in college was film, video, and media studies with a minor in writing. So, but the thing about the TV industry and the video industry is the best way to get experience is to just do it. It's a lot of hands-on learning. So a degree is really the first step to a career of constant learning and constantly having to adjust to things, especially because technology is always changing and always updating. So if you're just a cameraman, you have to learn a new camera like almost every year because there's always something new coming out. College prepares you for this pretty well. Of course, it depends on what you study and what school you go to. But if you go to college, pretty much as long as you're working with a camera, and as long as you're working with editing software, something in the field, college will prepare you pretty well because so much of it, like I said, is hands-on learning that as long as you're just doing something, you're getting experience. So most colleges have that. All right, so if I was going out on a shoot, I would bring batteries, microphone cable, microphone, and I'd put it all in our camera bag. This is sort of the standard camera. You know, it's not too heavy, but carrying this for more than an hour and a half, 2 hours will start to strain on you.
We cover a little bit of everything. Anything that has a Naperville tie to it is what we always say is what we will go for. So I could give some examples. Like I said earlier, we cover a lot of the local sports. We cover local events. I cover District 203 School Board. We cover all different kinds of things, and If it has a Naperville tie to it, a DuPage County tie to it, anything in our community is usually what we will cover.
All right, so now we're upstairs. This is where we keep our back catalog of footage. So as you can see, this is all former programs. We have it on disc. We've been around since 1987, 30 years. So we've got some tapes here that go pretty far ways back. And over here is sort of the command center for the live broadcast. From here you can control what goes on the actual TV show or on the TV network station. So that's what's airing on TV right now, as you can see. And from this computer is where you can dictate what is going on the TV. And also if you want to connect to a sporting event or a live stream or something that we're filming out in the field, this is where you need to be. So that's what's in the upstairs here.
It's all pre-recorded for the most part. We do try to do like Facebook Live for different events. We do live stream different sporting events that we cover. Our news stories, those are all pre-recorded stories, and we put out a news show weekly. So throughout the week we'll be going out to shoot those stories, interviewing, covering an event or whatnot. And then we come back, edit it, put it together, and then it's ready for our show on Friday.
If we go over here, this is our production truck. So we use this for live shoots, like if we're recording a local sporting event or if we're recording a concert or a parade, this truck will come out and it has its own command center and control room in here. So this is similar to the control room in the studio, in the sense that the technical director will be talking into the microphone, telling the camera operators what to do. Well, that's pretty much what happens at Naperville Community Television, NCTV 17. It was great to show you around and show you how we do things here. Be sure to check us out on channel 17 or 99, depending on your cable package.
Bose knows news? No. Bose knows movies. Bose knows.
World's Greatest Newspaper, WGN, aired first on April 5, 1948, from the original studios at Tribune Tower. In 1961, WGN-TV began broadcasting from West Bradley Place and premiered its own version of Bozo Circus. During the 1970s, new technology was changing the TV industry with lighter, more advanced cameras for the news staff, as well as advancement in cable TV and satellites. In 1983, WGN-TV adopted its promotional identity, Chicago's very own. Also in 2008, Superstation WGN transitioned to digital and HD and was renamed WGN America. WGN-TV has received numerous awards for programming excellence and community service. The station is proud of the many contributions it has made to television and is recognized as a leader for creativity, innovation, quality programming, and integrity in operation.
Well, I think it helps to study journalism in school, especially if you're going into broadcast journalism. They're going to want to see a reel, and so you need to be in a program that has video capabilities and a TV station where they do the news. Although I say this all the time to the interns, I would rather have somebody who reads a lot and is smart and knows nothing about TV than vice versa, because sometimes students think it's all about how to be on TV and how to hold the microphone and how to write a sentence. And really the number one challenge, I think, is using your critical thinking skills to figure out what the heck is going on. Because a house fire is obvious what the story is, but not all stories are that obvious. And so I think someone who reads a lot, I hope, develops critical thinking and creative thinking skills, and I think that's the number one tool for journalists.
Of this studio. So we could have a band setting up there, and we could have some woman here with cooking over here if we wanted. I mean,
Okay.
it's a separate studio from where the anchors are, so it's soundproof. And you're not disturbing the newscast as it unfolds. You can do rehearsals, you can do performances. There will be a separate control room for this studio too. So
Okay, yeah.
I think to help pay for all the updates they did in here, they'll be able to rent this studio out eventually. This is where Bob gets our satellite feeds and our Skype. Reporters in the field, he's responsible to make sure all those signals are strong.
Amazing.
Now, this is our control room. So, for example, on this back line here, we have Anne Marie, who's the show producer. So the 9 o'clock hour is her little baby. And then next to her is our executive producer, and she oversees all the shows from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then down in that front line, you have assistant director and a director in the middle. So she's one calling the different cameras. Camera 2, take camera 3.
3, 2, 1. So what I did is I put the white Christmas.
Vic and Al, I have one song for the Bears and Christmas.
And then if we don't really have a minute for
4, 3, 2.
all the top stories, we're talking Barry Manilow.
Join us from 4 to 10.
Welcome back. It's Giving Tuesday and ways you can help shed Aquarium's animal response team.
Lana, I'm not even going to try and pronounce your last name. How is it pronounced? Wanagase.
All right, so let's get to it, guys. Not mess around. 847, the Penguin would make a great addition to the morning show. Think about it.
I think, the hardest part is in the morning when there isn't always as much time to prepare as you would like. You are dealing with many, many different subjects that you are clearly not an expert on. And you try to be prepared as much as you can. But, I don't get nervous about being on TV. I get nervous if I don't feel I'm prepared, which hopefully never happens. And sometimes when you're trying to challenge an authority who clearly knows more about it than you do because that's their job, and you just you do the best you can. So, and that can be stressful. And breaking news can be stressful because you can't edit it out.
Yeah.
There's no rehearsal, and so that can be stressful.
Hi, I'm Natalie Skrid, and I'm a floor director here at WGN and an assistant director. But right now I'm going to show you what a floor director does. And right next to these cameras, as you can see, this awesome robotic camera. And I am the one who keeps track of commercial break times, and I cue the anchors to the correct camera. So the anchors stand over there sit at that anchor desk, and I stand to the camera that they're going to be looking at next, and I stand them by, and then I cue them to read. And then I will go over to the other camera and do the exact same thing. It's really fun. And then, like I said, I keep track of commercial break times. So I have a stopwatch and I have a headset. I listen to the director, and that's what I do as a floor director. As an assistant director, I'm in the control room, and I can't show you that right now because they're doing stuff in there. But I am the one who is kind of in charge of graphics, so I push buttons when the director tells me to, which is really fun and stressful at the same time. But that's about it.
Depends. If I'm taping a special report that I'm working on, I'll do as much research as I think I need to do. Sometimes that's more than what I thought when I started the project. In terms of the day-to-day stuff and all the little stories we have to cover, I think I'm constantly reading and watching the news. So it's a process. It's not like, I remember in high school, it was multiple choice and you memorize it and you spit it back out and you really didn't learn anything. And this is more of a process of educating yourself and just understanding all the things that are going on in the news. And if I have a big interview with a politician, I'll get up early or stay up late and try and come up with some good questions. So you just do the best you can. I mean, our show is so different than a nighttime show. It's all on the prompter. You go in, you read it, boom, you're done. This is a show that's constantly taking shape as it's going because it's so big and because it's early and because it's more of a creative type of show where you have live interviews with somebody who manages the Penguin to a lawmaker who's mysteriously resigning at a young age. And so you're dealing with all these different kinds of things in one show. It makes it challenging.
Conrad, all of our meteorologists, they work from here. They they track all the weather for you. And sometimes they have hits here at their weather cam is what we call it, weather center cam. When we have our morning meetings. Our assignment desk. Get all the calls when there's like accidents or like fires, and they send out a reporter.
I give this tip to high school students, to college students, whether they're in journalism or they're not in journalism. I think, in school, you can all get A's or you can all get C's. But in the real world, there's one job opening and there's one promotion. So who gets those? It's typically the people that are the best creative thinkers or critical thinkers. And the best way to become one of those is to read. And students sometimes get disappointed in that advice because they associate that with, I'm gonna read some stuff, I'm gonna read War and Peace, and I'm gonna spit it back out, or I'm gonna read War and Peace and somebody's gonna give me $100. It doesn't work that way. It's about the process of thinking and thinking better and being able to analyze situations. And you see, that's why, look at comedians. Something that you don't think of them as being smart, but they are smart people. Seinfeld's a smart guy. Steve Martin, Robin Williams. These are really smart guys. Jon Stewart. They're smart, and that's why they're funny. So I think the way people rise to the top within their organization is by being a creative and critical thinker. And students need to stop looking at school as a means to an end. I get a diploma and then I get a job. And use this as a time to really develop your thinking and your knowledge. Because at some point you'll have a wife and 2 kids and you won't have time to read them.